afternoon, everybody. I'd like to call the Thursday, January 23rd, 2025 full board meeting to order. First item is Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
Before we start today, we actually held our Student Government Day, and we have students in the audience. If all of our students could please stand, just so we can recognize you. We've had a full packed agenda, so we even fed them lunch, so they're here for the rest of the meeting, so they're excited. So, next is invocation today by Commissioner Lucido.
Thank you. Dear God, thank you for the many gifts you have bestowed upon us. Please watch over this commission and guide us to have the courage to make the choices that best represent all of Macomb County. Watch over all the students of Macomb County and help direct them into growing into bright, beautiful adults who will one day lead us into a bright future. It is in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, next is adoption of the agenda. Need a motion to adopt.
Romano adopts the agenda.
Support Van Sickle.
Moved by Commissioner Romano, supported by Commissioner Wallace. Seeing no changes to the agenda, please vote.
Sir, I didn't receive your vote. Did it come through for you?
It did not, yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 12-0.
Okay, next is approval of minutes. We've got two sets of minutes, our organizational meeting minutes dated January 9th, 2025, and closed session minutes, and also amended full board minutes dated December 12th, 2024. I need a motion to approve 5A and B.
Support Van Sickle.
Moved by Commissioner Perna, supported by Commissioner Lucido. Any updates to the minutes? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Okay, next is public participation. This is the first opportunity for public participation for those who would like to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes on any item which is on today's agenda. There'll also be a second opportunity for public participation for those who would like to speak on any issue. Would anyone from the public like to speak? Agenda items only. You have 3 minutes. Just state your name for the record.
Date of birth,
Thank you, Commissioner Sabatini.
date of birth, please.
I appreciate that, Commissioner Perna. So Andy McKinnon, 42778, and I live in Harrison Township, Michigan. Thank you very much. First and foremost, I wanted to say, again, congratulations to Don Brown for his new appointment, and I know that you are all recognizing him and honoring him today, which I think is incredibly deserved. And so congratulations to Mr. Brown, and best wishes to all of the applicants for the board here today. I know you guys have a tough decision to make on that, so best of luck on that. I just wanted to revisit the resolutions that we have on the agenda today. Resolution number 2025-12876, 2025-12875. As mentioned prior, it is our belief, and in conversation with the leadership of the board, that the board wishes to remain neutral on these items. It is my opinion through reading those resolutions that they are very conclusory and that they are not incredibly neutral resolutions. I think there's a lot of verbiage in there that could be changed to make it more neutral. I don't see any reason that these have to be voted on today. They could certainly be tabled. The litigation has already been drafted and filed and stayed, in fact. The contracts for the 3 law firms has already been stayed, so there's no reason for that to move forward. It's going to wait until the state Supreme Court makes their decision. So we're back to just the issue on reclassification. So there's really no time frame for that. These resolutions do talk about retroactivity. You could always do that in the future. The resolutions could be marked up and made more neutral, which would make a ton of sense in my opinion. And that's all I really have to say. I will forfeit the rest of my 3 minutes. Thank you all for your time and for the work on this. I appreciate you very much. Take care.
Anyone else from the public like to speak? Agenda items only. Going once, twice. We'll close public participation. Next item is public hearing on Macomb County 2025 through 2029 Comprehensive Parks and Natural Resources Master Plan. I'm going to open the public hearing at 3:07 p.m. Is there anyone here for the public hearing? Anyone like to speak in regards to this item for the public hearing? Going once, twice. Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing. Next item is presentations. This is the 2025 Student Government Day Scholarship Essay winner. I need a motion to receive and file.
So move.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Hawes, supported by Commissioner Romano. Commissioner Romano?
Thank you, Chair. Sure, you want to give an overview to the audience of what this actually is, if you have a moment?
Sure. So we recognized our students earlier here in the meeting. We invite students from all throughout the county to participate in our Student Government Day. It's an opportunity for our younger adults to see what the Board of Commissioners and how government's done here in Macomb County. We're certainly very proud in how we operate, and we have breakout sessions for the individuals. They can see different topics, whether it's the budget, whether it's operations, whether it's common situations that we deal with as commissioners. So it's an overview of what our day is encompassed here at the board, and it's interesting to see these young, I call them kids, but they're young adults, how interested they are in the great questions that they ask during these meetings. And today we're recognizing the students because they all had to write an essay as well, and they did write an essay, so we had another nominees here, and Commissioner Romano is going to be presenting a check on behalf of Advancing Macomb relative to the winner of the essay. So Commissioner Romano?
We have a drum roll. The winner of the $1,000 scholarship is Megan Morrell. Megan, could you step forward? Got it?
It's a pretty big check.
Yeah. Look at that.
No man, hug.
Thank you.
Sweetie.
Oh, look
Okay.
at that.
Where's my man? Want to take your weight, please?
Yes, congratulations, Megan.
Thank you.
If I may, at the microphone here.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, commissioners, audience members, students. My name is Phil Gilchrist. I'm the Executive Director of Advancing Macomb. As a strong advocate for civic and community engagement, we are very proud to sponsor this $1,000 scholarship and congratulate Megan on your essay, your winning essay. So, good work.
Thank you.
Megan, the microphone is yours.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say I expected it.
Right to the microphone.
Yeah. I just want to thank the Board of Commissioners for the opportunity for all of us to come here. I mean, it was really like an amazing experience to really see in general like the actual local government and how it works, and people that are directly affecting our local communities that have quite a big effect on our lives actually, and more people need to understand that. So just thank you guys for allowing us to come in here and see the day-to-day operations of a Board of Commissioners. So thank you very much.
Take it to the bank. Go on, Fred. Take it to the bank. Look down front. There we go. Incidentally, it wasn't planned this way. Megan's family happens to be in my district. In fact, she's probably, and I've never met the young lady, she's probably about half a mile from my own house. So I'm fortunate to have her in my district also. She turned 18 and she said she will vote. She didn't say who she's gonna vote for, but she said she will vote.
These are like pictures?
Done deal? Good job.
Okay, next item are proclamations. I need to take a motion to adopt 9A through 9E.
So move.
Support.
Made by Commissioner Hawes, supported by Commissioner Zinner. Please vote. Vote on these first before we present them.
Motion passes 12-0.
Biggest problem.
Come on up, Dad.
Try not to speak under public participation.
You know, this is really truly an honor to be here to present this proclamation to Don Brown. You know, there's certainly been a lot of articles in the paper and a lot of comments that I've given, and you know, Don's been a mentor, a friend, so many things to not only me but to so many others. And you know, when he gave his speech in December, I was sitting there thinking, how are we going to put all that in the proclamation? And we can't even read it, it's so small, Don. There's so much here, and quite honestly, that is the Don Brown that we know. He's done so much. He has led us in so many ways, and it's one thing after another. And I think it's fitting today too, with his appointment, with all these people that are here, and during our appointment process, as we all heard, every one of these candidates only said great things about Don, and never wanted to run against Don because Don did such a great job. And Don, this is just a small token on behalf of Macomb County and what you've deserved for so many years. You know, I say he came with the furniture. He came before the building was even built. Don is stellar. He has, I don't think anyone can come close to the amount of committee meetings, the chairmanships, how many proclamations he's given to others. It's ongoing. And it's just something, Don, that you can't put into words. So I just want to say congratulations to you for everything you've done for Macomb County and continue to do for Macomb County. For now, our Public Works Commissioner, Candace Miller, who's here as well. And I know Commissioner Hall wanted to say some words as well.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Chairman. I just want to reiterate everything that you just said. I've known Don for well over 30 years. RD never made a difference with the two of us on any issue we discuss. I wish him all the best in his new venture, and congratulations. It's been my honor and privilege to have you as a friend. And I stole this off the wall downstairs, so I'm going to present that to you.
All right, well, that's great.
Good luck to you, my friend.
Thank you, Joe.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you.
Commissioners, I'll open it up the floor for comments. I'm sure there are many.
Gives me the last
So,
word.
yeah, I just want to thank Commissioner or ex-Commissioner Brown for doing such a fantastic job. As a new commissioner, when I came in 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, he was so welcoming. He was so understanding. He was there for all my questions. He showed me how to get involved. He just did such a phenomenal job, and you really have been an inspiration. I know that you have worked diligently with making sure you're not just in your district, but you would go out and you would visit other districts, which always meant a lot to me because ultimately we are all representing all of Macomb County, and you really embrace that, and I always did appreciate that, and I appreciate, like I said, you always being there, and I know I'll still be calling you, so thank you.
I'll go next. I just want, again, just mimic everything that Commissioner Lucido said. You've been like a mentor, a friend, all the things, and just pushing us to be involved, pushing us to learn more and asking the questions like, what do you want to do? Making us think outside of what we're already doing. How can we be more for our community? And I think that's so important. And your support in everything that we chose to do, whether it was, you know, do a parade in the freezing cold. You were there to just cheer us on and be there and greet the community of Mount Clemens, and any other thing that we wanted to even discuss, whether it's YMCA or whatever. You were there to discuss and help figure out a way to make the action happen. And I just appreciate that. And I definitely have learned a lot from you. And I think I push more because of you. So, and found a louder voice because of you. So I thank you for that.
Thank you.
The first time I met you was down around the corner from my house. It was at 9.5 and Mount at the Carpenters Union Hall for a breakfast. And I thought that was, you know, knowing that you represent somewhere far north, I was surprised that you even remembered who I was, because I only came to one county commission meeting, and you knew exactly who I was. And it spoke a lot of you. But just seeing you lead over the years, it actually made me focus and consider county government. Unfortunately, I won't have the privilege to serve with you as a fellow county commissioner, but your voice has been a great highlight of what can we do positive from a county level, which I feel like in many ways is a forgotten level of government. And I just want to thank you for your service, and you've always been a listening ear to so many. When you stepped down, I got probably 20 calls that day from state elected officials down to city folks like, is it real? Did it really happen? And I'm like, unfortunately, guys, it's real. And so I just wanted to thank you for your many, many, many years of service.
Thank you.
Well, since we don't have a chairperson right now, and you're both up here, ex and current, but Don and I go back to 1996, when I was first elected as a commissioner. And Don, and his private business, and his county commissioner at that time, and not the chair, Don's been a mentor to many commissioners that are no longer here. Some have passed away. But Don was always a person that could unite and put issues and problems together. He really was a mentor of all commissioners. And his friendship and his dedication to this county has been outstanding. And there's been many other chairpersons of Macomb County Commissioners after 1996. And Don's been a real friend to the residents of Macomb County, not to mention that he's been a friend to the county commissioners. Don, we go back a long time. And hopefully we'll be continuing our relationship, not just you and I, but all these commissioners up here that are going to direct our county in the right direction. Your leadership, Don, has been outstanding. You've never said no to talking to a commissioner or an elected official or a resident of Macomb County. All the best of luck to you. And you have the right leadership working with Candace Miller. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
With that, you're done.
Don and I go back a long time too. Then we kind of veered apart in our activities, and then I think since everyone's covered all the other stuff, then they're all right. First time, well, the second time I ran for commissioner, which I really still can't believe I'm a commissioner. But when my first winning, he called me at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. He said, "Barb, you won." And I said, "I did?" And I just was so surprised, really. And I just thought it was so nice of him to do that after I don't even know what he had been through that night. But that's done. And as everyone has said, what he does for all of us, he does for everyone, I think, because that's what I've seen for a lot of years. thanks, Don, for hanging around today. And thanks for, well, we'll see each other just because. Thanks, Tim.
Well, thank you. I appreciate all the,
I didn't take a shot at you yet.
I wanted to get out of.
We're not here to
hoping get by.
compliment you. If I may, I'll take on next. You know, I started as a commissioner 8 years ago. I was very apprehensive of Don. I voted for him as chair because a good friend who was on the commission at the time said, Don's a good guy. We should really make him chair. And as I said, I was apprehensive, but you know what? I made a good choice. I made the right choice. You folks think about it. Don had to deal with 12 people calling him probably every single day for whatever their agenda was. And honestly, I can say every time I've called Don, he's always returned my call, probably within the first 5 minutes after I've called. Now, that's really quite a feat considering there's 12 people here. When they say Don was here before the building, when he used to come from up north, he'd ride a horse to come down here. That's how bad the roads were. Don, dealing with us, I know is a chore. And I know I speak for commissioners when I say that I personally think you've done a great job. You've always been there for us. And as commissioners have mentioned, you go out of your district and support us. Out of your district. Now, he doesn't get any votes from my district, but yet he would take the time and effort to come to whatever fundraiser, whatever thing I would have going. He would show up and to say, hey, I support these commissioners. And even though he supports his party very strongly, Don was always open to, you come up with an idea, you come up with a suggestion, he was always willing to meet you halfway. He never had closed his mind to say, it's got to be this way because my party says so. He's always said, let's talk about it. And we appreciate it. As commissioners, we all appreciated that. Candace, I'm still upset with you. I'm still upset with you. Candace Miller sitting there in that white jacket, stole Don Brown from us. And she's going to come before us looking for some money. She better think about that. Donald, I wish you the best. Candace has got a great job. You know, you're going to fit hand in glove with her. You've got the background for it. You've got the knowledge for it. I wish you nothing but success. You made a great choice. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for being my friend, too.
Thank you, Joe.
All right, I guess I'll go. I said most of what I wanted to say last time when everybody else was stunned and tongue-tied, and I mumbled my way through some probably semi-heartwarming comments, but we'll give it another shot. Don and I have been intertwined for the last 13 years. I have the unique position of having Don as been my boss for 5 of those when we both worked for Candace. Some of us broke away, some of us came back. Candace just keeps reeling some of us in. But it's a testament to not only Don's work ethic, but Candace. She's a fantastic boss. She's fantastic for this county. And just like Don, they're going to be a great team. And I was serving with Don for the last 8 years on this board. And then he up and resigned. And I said, all right, I'm free of Don Brown. We're no longer intertwined. I go to the State of the Bay this morning in Chesterfield Township, and he comes and he sits right next to me. Don's not going to stop. He's going to continue to work for the people of this county because that's what he knows. He loves this county. He loves the people of this county, and he loves this type of work. I know that from being under him when he was my boss and next to him as a commissioner, and he's going to keep doing that. And Candace, we're mad you took him, but we understand why you took him. And he's just going to be a great asset to your office. Don, we're going to miss you here, but obviously we're going to continue to run into you, and you know where to find us when you guys need anything. Thank you for your years of service and your continued years of service. Thank you, Don.
Thank you, Phil. Well,
one of the advantages of not going first is everybody's already said everything that I had to say about Don. I've only been a commissioner for 4 years with Don, but I knew Don for many years before then, and he's always been a stand-up guy. So I agree with everything that people have said, and would like to just wish Don the best of luck in his future endeavor. And Candace, yeah, okay. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you. You've all been friends. You know, make this board is just friends. It's friendship. It's not partisanship. It's friendships. And you say I didn't mind talking to each of you. I mean, some days were more trying than others, of course, but you all had your different issues, and we were all working together to solve common problems. And That's what this board is about, and that's where this county's run so well, and our finances are strong, and, we don't make everyone happy, but the taxpayers are happy because our budget's sound, we got a healthy fund balance, we got a good leadership now with Joe and Vice Chair Hall, gonna continue on the tradition of good leadership here, and I'm very grateful. I mean, I've enjoyed my years of service, and I'm just stepping into a different role now. And I'm gonna work with all of you in your districts through the Public Works Office. We got this 50-50 match program the Board of Commissioners put together. Well, I'm gonna come calling on you in your communities and seeing how we can help. Maybe there's something you got in your district that we could help with. That or anything else that you have a need with. You got the hotline to me right now. I mean, you got the direct access, and y'all have my numbers for sure. And I'm gonna be there to work with you in your communities across the county, as I've done my entire career. And it's gonna continue. And so that's the good thing about it. It's not like I'm gonna walk away and not see you anymore. I'll be around. I might be coming up here looking for money for you someday. But again, it's just really been an honor to be here, and I really appreciate all the well wishes. It's been truly it's a unique opportunity, and I'm so humbled to see all the good people from my district that step forward to fill the breach with my vacancy. And I'm hopeful they get appointed soon, because I'm still taking care of constituent calls all the time, and since the day I had announced my resignation. So there's a lot of work to be done. District needs a commissioner that's going to be active and be there and responsive to them. Answering their calls quickly, that's what I do for my constituents. I started out long ago saying, first thing is my constituents. They call me, I'm going to call them back within 24 hours. And normally it's the same day, and generally it's as soon as possible. So those 5-minute calls are training I've received out in my district, taking care of my constituents on a daily basis. And I hope that that's the same level of service they're going to get from their new commissioner, whoever you guys appoint. I am leaving. I've been up here and I've heard a lot. Said I've given out a stack of. I could probably have a stack of presentations taller than me, all the ones I've given out. But I do have something that I wanted to present to the board. And you've all heard me say it a million times, but I got a little bit bigger version of it for you. One mission, one team. That's what you got to do. So, Mr. Chairman, I entrust you to carry on the tradition, and keep it up, and remember that. And you can have this job for as long as you want, as long as you keep that in mind, who you're working for. And so, thank you again. I appreciate it. Thanks for taking up your time. I know you got a long meeting, but hey, I'm due. I've sat through a long meeting before. So, very good.
Take care of you.
This is the smallest print I've ever seen.
It's the smallest we could get.
It's unfortunately. There's got pictures.
Harold, picture.
I was gonna ask him to read it. But
It's the smallest font we had available.
I've never seen a font this small in all my 35 years.
Joe, do
being
the
up here.
short version.
But we wanted you to read it.
Yeah.
No reading. I would think
This way?
Other way.
Nope.
Other way.
Other way.
Everybody telling us what to do now.
It's not used to that. Hey. Great.
All
Thanks,
right,
guys.
brother.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Very good. Thanks a lot.
Enjoy it.
I will.
Okay, this gets no money.
Pardon me? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. I think I'll put on my bumper sticker.
You gotta put it in your office.
Yeah.
Commissioner Zinner wanted me to show exactly what the sign says. There you go. See it.
There you go. Good job. Perfect.
We'll keep it here for the remainder of the meeting.
She wants you to go down there.
All right. So we have the next proclamation. number 2 for 2025. And I asked, move over. Okay. And I, as a commissioner for Mount Clemens and Warren, we are happy to present this proclamation together for paramedic Nina Simon. I was getting there. So if you could please come up. It was my third guess.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we just wanted to acknowledge you. Of course, you have your commissioner from your district in which you live and the commissioner from where you work.
Yeah.
We just really appreciate your hard work and your dedication. And this proclamation just pretty much talks about how you started your education and how great you are. And we just want to, again, say thank you because we acknowledge, again, just the tireless work that you do. Not anything that I don't think thank you is enough. Living in Mount Clemens, I hear the sirens. I see some of the stuff that's happening and you're on the app, it's like, what's happening? I saw, ambulance, I saw, fire trucks, and you can just only imagine what these professionals go through every day, seeing the type of things that you see. And I, 1, keep you in my prayers, and 2, just on a daily basis, I'm thankful for those like you that are willing to get up and do this every day, because I would pass out, honestly. I'm not built for that, but I'm grateful for those like you that take it on every single day. Did you want to?
I'll just say as well, thank you very much. You have a very stressful job. As a registered nurse, we appreciate you keeping those patients alive on their way to the hospital. As the residents of Macomb County, we appreciate the hard work that you do to keep all of us safe. So, very well deserved to recognize you today and the work that you do and your colleagues as well. But congratulations on this honor.
Yes, and I will just say before the clap start, it's okay, because I never said exactly what this proclamation is for, and it's for being named the 2024 EMS Practitioner of the Year. Wow. So we have some pretty cool people in Mount Clemens, I will say. So thank you so much. Let the claps begin. Oh, and we do have one more speaker here.
Thank you.
Commissioners, thank you for indulging me. I appreciate that you taking the time to recognize Nina for her hard work. My name is Angela Madden. I'm the Executive Director of the Michigan Association of EMTs, the organization that is absolutely thrilled to be able to present this honor to Nina this year for her work, not only in 2024, but for the entire time that she has been a licensed EMS professional, and that goes all the way back to 2011, I understand. So she's been a dedicated servant to Macomb County for a very, very long time. With me today are other members of the MAEMT Board of Directors. Unfortunately, due to the holidays, we have been unable to present her with her official recognition. And if you will indulge us 2 seconds, we would very much like to do that before you today, if that is at all possible. Thank you so very much for giving her this recognition. We very much appreciate your time.
Probably can't hold this because you have so many gifts, but yes, you. Thank you. Or it's you. Oh,
Put the
I don't want to be
microphone
in the
down.
middle, actually.
You want to put Nina in the middle?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll just move down a little bit. Okay, good enough.
Thank you.
All right, congratulations
Thank you very
again.
much.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's so nice to meet you. Thank you for everything that you do. Good. Thank you for the family. If you wanted to say anything to Al,
I just
with your gifts, then I don't want you to drop them.
I'm just really honored and really thankful and just humbled because I know so many great providers. So it's truly an honor to be recognized for it. So I just want to thank everybody.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Okay. All right. know we have 3 other proclamations. I don't believe we're presenting the proclamation to David Lavender. I don't think they're here. And the proclamation congratulating Adrian, I'm going to screw this one up, Popovinsky for achieving a perfect score on the M step. Commissioner Van Siegel? Okay. And then also a proclamation honoring Norbert Gallus on the occasion of his 100th birthday with Commissioner Perna. So I know they'll be presenting those at a different time. Commissioners, just going back here, we did not vote on the Student Government Day, item 8A, so we had a motion on the floor, but never officially voted, so we'll need to vote on that. And I also just want to thank Phil Gilchrist from Advancing Macomb for being here to present the check. Always great to have your partnership in the program, and thank you again. Please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Okay, next is appointments. We already voted on it. Yep. Next is appointments. This is for County Commissioner District 1, the board appointment for the 1 vacancy, partial term for appointment through certification of a special election, soon to be. First and foremost, I just want to thank all the 15 applicants that did apply for Commissioner Brown's seat. We've had former commissioners, legislators, trustees, businessmen, accountants, appointees to other boards within Macomb County. So certainly this is a tough decision for the board, but I think it's humble to Commissioner Brown, the amount of people that stepped up, and quite honestly, all the accolades that are here on this list. So thank you to all of you. Wish you all the best of luck. So Adriana, can I have you call the roll?
Commissioner Grote,
Ken Goiki.
Commissioner Haw,
Ken Goike.
Commissioner Howard,
Troy Cosal.
Commissioner Kraft,
Ken Goike.
Commissioner Lucido,
Troy Cosell.
Commissioner Perna,
Goiki.
Commissioner Romano,
Goike.
Commissioner Van Sickle,
Goike.
Commissioner Wallace,
Troy Casal.
Commissioner Voino,
Troy Cosell.
Commissioner Zinner,
Goiki.
Chair Sabatini.
Goike.
We have 4 for Cosal, 8 for Goike, receiving the majority.
Commissioner Goike, congratulations. Say a few words, Ken.
Well, thank you, commissioners, very much for having the confidence for me. I'm sure I'm not going to let anybody down to represent this. I got good footsteps with Don leading the way, and like I told you in my presentation, he did such a wonderful job, and that's why nobody ever ran against him. So thank you, and I wanted to get to know everybody on a personal relationship so that we can continue one mission, and one, as a committee. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Ken. Congratulations again. And
You need a motion?
we're going to make a motion here. I need a motion to appoint Kenneth Goike to
Motion to
County
appoint.
Commissioner District 1.
Motion to appoint?
By Commissioner Grote, supported by Commissioner Howard. Any speakers here? Seeing no speakers, please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Okay, next item is 10B. This is AgeWays. This is a board chair appointment with board concur for 1 commissioner vacancy for a 2-year term to expire on December 31st, 2026. I need a motion to concur for Commissioner
Support.
Don Van Sickle, made by Commissioner Haw, supported by Commissioner Romano. Discussion, seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Okay, next is the Health Department Hearing Board. This is a board appointment for 2 vacancies for 2-year terms to expire December 31st, 2026. This is a commissioner designation for the HHS Chair, Commissioner Lucido, and the alternate designation, Vice Chair for Commissioner Zinner. I need a motion to appoint.
Motion to appoint.
Moved by Commissioner Romano, supported by Commissioner Haw. Seeing no speakers, please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Next is the Intermediate Trust Board. This is a board appointment, one vacancy for a 4-year term to expire December 31st, 2028. This is for Commissioner Haw. I need a motion to appoint.
Motion to appoint?
Support.
By Romano, supported by Zinner. Any discussion? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Next is the Retiree Healthcare Board. This is one board appointment, 4-year term to expire on December 31st, 2028. This is for Commissioner Haw. I need a motion to appoint.
Motion to appoint.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Grote, supported by Commissioner Lucido. Seeing no speakers, please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
And next is the Retirement Commission. This is chair appointment as designee. This is a 4-year term to expire on December 31st, 2028. This is also for Commissioner Haw. I need a motion to concur. Moved by Commissioner Wono.
Support.
Supported by Commissioner Romano. Seeing no speakers, please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Okay, next is our committee recommendations for everyone here in the audience and watching. All these items were discussed at length in committee. This will be the final vote on these items. There may have been no votes unless those are designated to be carried forward or separated. This will be the final vote for these items. So we'll start off with Internal Services Committee recommendations. I'll take a motion to approve items 11A through 11D.
Motion to approve, Van Sickle.
Support Perna.
Moved by Van Sickle, supported by Perna. Any discussions on these items? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Next is our Health and Human Services Committee recommendations. I need a motion to approve 12A through 12C. Moved by Commissioner Lucido, supported by Commissioner Bueno. Any discussion on these? Seeing none, please vote.
Commissioner Howard, I don't think you're, oh, I got it. Sorry about that. Motion passes 12-0.
Next is Government Oversight Committee recommendations. This is a settlement agreement with Macomb County Circuit Court case number 2024-000818-NF. I need a motion to concur.
So move.
Support.
Moved by Haw, supported by Romano. Please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Next is Public Services Committee recommendation. Need a motion to approve items 14A through 14E.
So move.
Moved by Haw, supported by Romano. Seeing no speakers, please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Next is Records and Public Safety Committee recommendations. Take a motion to approve items 15A through 15E.
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Romano, supported by Lucido. Seeing no speakers, please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Okay, next is resolutions. We have a number of resolutions. I'm going to take a motion to adopt items 16A through 16G, noting the addition of District 1 Commissioner Goyke, name be added to that plan document for 16G.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Moved by Kraft, supported by Lucido.
16,
Any discussion?
Chair, a 16G is a resolution for the 5-year parks, isn't it?
Yes, it's the master plan.
I thought I misunderstood you in regard to Goyke. Thank you.
We didn't have a commissioner on that plan, so we're adding Commissioner Goyke to that.
I thought you said G.
Yes, 16G.
Okay.
Seeing No speakers on the resolutions. Please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Okay, next is our board office update. This is a monthly update with our Chief of Staff, Crystal Richardson. I need a motion to receive and file.
So move.
Support.
Moved by Haas, supported by Romano. Crystal?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Board Chair Sabatini's report was emailed to everybody earlier today. I have some general office information, some updates on events and projects, and some monthly statistics for you. There is an outline attached to your agenda if that's helpful to follow along. As far as the general office information, we are going to have new office hours starting in February. Most of the building is open 8 to 4:30. Our hours have typically been 8:30 to 5. We're going to extend our hours and be open from 8 until 5 now. So we'll be starting the same time as most of the rest of the building does. And just as a reminder, if you need something during business hours, the phone's always covered during that time. So call the main number and whoever answers will get you what you need. The link for the 2025 meeting calendar was sent to everybody the other night. If you need help adding that to your phone, let staff know. One of us can help you. The remainder of the meetings will be added tomorrow. A new group photo is going to be scheduled for a meeting date in February. I will let you all know when that it has been scheduled. There are upcoming vacancies for the CMH board. The appointments will take place in March. The Macomb Daily printed information on that yesterday. If you want information on what the CMH board does, I would recommend talking to Commissioner Wallace, who's a member of the board, or Commissioner Kraft, who's the chair. All the information's on our website. As with anything that we have currently going on, if you go to our homepage, bocmacomb.org, and wait for the appropriate slider, if you click on that, it'll take you to the information you're looking for. And we always have those updated with the current programs, events, appointments, any information like that. I will send more specific information out next week on exactly which seats are expiring. I have one reminder that's not on my outline. If you wanted to put in an apparel order, those are due, so make sure you get those in. As far as our events, obviously today was our 3rd annual Student Government Day. I think it went really well. The students really seemed to enjoy it. They were very interested and engaged. Thank you to all the commissioners who participated, not only during the portions earlier today, but those who were able to make it for the 2 o'clock mock meeting. Both the commissioners and students really seemed to have fun with that. Volunteer recognition is being, I'm sorry, and I did want to say a special thanks again to Advancing Macomb, because it's always great that they sponsor that $1,000 scholarship for our students. I have a date for volunteer recognition. I did not have that when I printed this sheet, but it will be mid-April, and all of the dates I mentioned will be added to the meeting calendar, and you will be sent a meeting invite. Yoga at the Hill is going to be scheduled for a Saturday in June. I'm waiting for them to check the event schedule at Freedom Hill. Our office will be conducting both Green School celebrations this year. The one that the commissioners host at the MISD, that will be held the morning of April 25th. And then the Tri-County celebration that we do with Wayne and Oakland counties, that the Detroit Zoo hosts the students to come and spend the day there. The first meeting for our Older Adult Advisory Committee for 25 is next Tuesday, January 28th at 3 p.m. in the conference room right next door. Those are public meetings, and commissioners are always welcome to join us if they would like. An update on I3, which is our new civic clerk. The discovery phase was completed in December at the end of the year. We have meetings scheduled through mid-February for the next phase, and we are still on target for a spring rollout for that. IQ, which is our constituent management system, the stats for 2025 year to date, we've received 88 messages through that system, sent 59, opened 24 services, and 16 services have been completed. As I mentioned before, the appointments get processed through that system, so the open services are related to the appointment that was made today. So those remain open until that appointment is made. I've also included some statistics from our work with Humphrey from December and through January year to date. They made a bunch of changes on the website, updated it with the new commissioners and new information for the new board. They're always rotating those sliders out that I talked about a few minutes ago. They had to add those for the CMH board vacancy, the Green Schools application period, which is now open, the 2025 charities for casual day. They helped advertise the public hearing on the Parks Plan that was held today and advertise our new leadership. They also created a page for the CMH board vacancy information, and we have a new page for resources for our green schools to help them come up with ideas and find grant opportunities and things like that. On social media, there were 26 posts with almost 6,000 impressions. They covered the swearing-in ceremony in December and today's Student Government Day, and they were also here for the proclamations at the beginning of the meeting. The January newsletter was sent to over 15,000 recipients. We had a 19% open rate, which is right about average, but we are looking at ways to boost that. And there's probably other things that I should have included and didn't get a chance to add, but it's been a busy start to the year, and we are looking forward to working with all of you this new term and our new commissioners, and that you all are going to be with us for 4 years this time. As always, you can contact me if you have any questions or need any office support or need any help. And I'm also happy to answer any questions you have right now.
Thank you, Crystal, for the thorough report. Any questions, commissioners, for Crystal? You know where to find her. I don't see any questions. Please vote.
I'm missing a couple of votes. Chair Sabatini,
Yes.
Commissioner Perna.
Yes.
Motion passes 12-0.
Okay, next is public participation. This is the opportunity for public participation for those who would like to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes on any issue. Anyone from the public like to speak? State your name for the record.
Honorable Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow citizens behind me. My name is Thomas Matthews. I'm a resident of Macomb County, living in Washington Township. I was born, do I have to state the year? I'll state it this way. I was born in the year 1946.
Young kid.
My message is in two parts. I modified it because of the younger people I saw here today. In the process of preparing myself to do more and more for my community, I found the story of a 9-year-old boy living in Goodyear, Arizona. In July of last year, he petitioned his local government because his grandmother was almost killed in an accident on a busy thoroughfare where there were speeders and drag racers. He dressed himself up in a suit and tie, went to this meeting, and petitioned them to make a difference by installing intersection lights and policing that avenue. And they did. And this little boy said to them, I am here to make a difference. And one day I want to be mayor or president. That's the kind of activity we need in our youth, because one day you and me and all of us won't be here, and they will be coming in behind. And as you know, a large percentage of our citizens can't even name their local representatives or what they stand for. Now, here's the second part of my message. Now, I'm not here, by the way, as a member of any county organization, which I happen to be. I'm here as a citizen. In February of last year, some months after I had been appointed by Commissioner Brown to the Older Adult Advisory Committee, I met a lady in a restaurant sitting in the booth next to me. And I'm a rather gregarious person. I like people. I like to talk to them. We started a conversation. Here's what she told me. Quote, I have no one. I have no one. Now that's inexcusable in the wealthiest country on the planet. So I am doing work in the OAAC that I hope one day will go to Commissioner Zinner and find its way to you for remedies to social isolation in our society. And if you want to read more, go to the website of the outgoing Surgeon General, and you'll find one of his priorities is the subject of social connection. There's an 82-page document, and it has real effect on our citizens in terms of physical and mental health. So we'll be coming to you with our recommendations, and we hope one day we'll remedy this situation. And by the way, it's not limited to older people. Social isolation is present in our Gen Z and millennials. Over 40% as a collective group identify that they have no friends or few friends. And believe me, Facebook is not your friend. I came from a time when we had no computers. We got out, we met our friends, we played baseball, swimming, and everything. And it made a difference in the way I think. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello. I'm going to piggyback on him.
Just state your name for the record.
Yes, Christina Bood, retired Detroit teacher, 40 years, and I'm currently active and teaching. I'm working with retirees, and I'm currently working at a learning center, among a million other things. And I'm an elder abuse activist, and I work with many counties. I've done this for about 9 years after my mother was taken into guardianship for no reason. When I went to court in Oakland County to get guardianship, which is the law that the family members come first. Not happening in oftentimes here in Macomb and in Oakland and in Wayne. Because it seems that the generational wealth that was built after the World War and Depression, when people saved, is still saved, and those guardians know it. So do the judges. There's money, lots of it. Just read what happened to the Osage Indians in Killers of the Flower Moon, when they were told they had to go to move their land, and when they did, they found oil. And the government came in and said, well, they can't take care of it themselves. We're going to have to assign guardians. And they did. And they learned to kill off the family members so that eventually that pot of gold went to the guardians. That's happening here in Macomb County, Oakland County, Wayne County, Genesee County, all over Michigan. You have a professional guardian list here in Macomb, where anybody can see that these names have been on Channel 7 News. Many of these names were removed from the Attorney General when we started taking action and going to Lansing, because they were found to be corrupt and stealing from their wards. And they closed up the wards by threatening them and giving them a 10-minute test saying, oh, they're incapacitated, we're going to put them in this nursing home, which happens to be part of an LLC of their friends. Many of these LLC nursing homes are funneling money that the attorneys and guardians collect from the estate by billing it down. We have a story here in Macomb County of Gretchen Summers, who was on, that Heather Catala covered it, where her aunt was taken over by names that I see on your current guardian list that you're passing out to the public, that was already handed on the Channel 7 News. And I just want to say, we're working in Lansing right now with lawmakers, but we have people like Georgia Callis, who's on your guardian list, who is up there going against our bills to guardrail. She's going against, saying, oh, we're so poor, we only get 86. Oh, no. They take the rest of the estate. She's living in a $600,000 home.
Your time is up.
Okay.
Thank you.
And so we're working on it because others don't seem to care about the elders. And I'm part of the baby boomers generation. I'm 73, 74 this week.
Your time is up.
And I'm not going to put up with someone coming to my door like we've seen and take them away in an ambulance and give them a 5-minute test and say, you have Alzheimer's. I have a signature from the judge that we have control over you now as guardians.
Anyone else from the public like to speak?
Hi, I'm Troy Kozel. I just want to congratulate Ken Goyke on
being Commissioner 1, and I want to thank all of you for all that you do. And it's very humbling to be on such a strong list of candidates. So I just want to thank you again. I want to thank Don Brown for your service and offer Ken my support. And thank you again for all that you all do for Macomb County.
Anyone else from the public like to speak?
Good afternoon. My name is Ted Scarborough. I've been a resident of Macomb County my whole life. I'm 60 years old now. And since we're on this subject of guardianship, I'm going to continue with it. This is between April 2022 and February 23, a series of concerning events unfolded in the Macomb County probate court system. I'm here to detail these events and request your intervention. On April 18, 2022, a 9-minute probate court hearing occurred without my knowledge, where false statements were made about my character. By May 15, 2022, a 6-minute hearing followed, where an adult protective services agent, their attorney, guardian ad litem, and attorney Terrence Gilsonen initiated proceedings affecting my fiancée, Judy, who was deemed a vulnerable adult, and myself. These actions resulted in Judy's forced placement in a nursing home and our separation. Despite being assigned a court-appointed attorney to protect her civil rights, no meaningful advocacy occurred at all. I retained 2 attorneys myself, but neither reported potential misconduct to the appropriate oversight boards, which is the Attorney Grievance Commission, the Attorney Discipline Board, or the State Bar Board of Commissioners. The court proceedings led to my imprisonment twice. First for 21 days in November 22, which time our home was cleared out while I was in jail, and again in February of 23 to facilitate the sale of our home. Throughout this process, Attorney Gilsonen collected over $60,000 in proceeds from the house sale, which I had shared with my fiancée since 2012. Despite attempts to seek justice through proper channels, including the Sheriff's Department, the Prosecutor's Office, my evidence was held for 9 months without action. Peter Lucido responded with the cease and desist letter, and subsequent interactions raised further concerns about professional conduct. Now, I ask you as county commissioners to take action. You have the authority to recommend reforms to protect Macomb County residents from predatory probate practices. Now, first, we need mandatory oversight of court-appointed guardian ad litems, guardians, conservators, and attorney billing and activities. Prevention of forced separations and isolation without due process. Investigation into retaliatory practices against those who speak out. Implementation of checks and balances in the probate court system and document the written complaints provided to the probate administration in Macomb County. This isn't just about me and Judy, it's about protecting every vulnerable citizen in Macomb County from exploitation. The separation of loved ones, sale of property without consent, and excessive legal fees must stop. Please exercise your authority to recommend changes to the Michigan Supreme Court and support reforms in our probate system. Our seniors and vulnerable adults deserve better. Thank you.
Anyone else from the public like to speak?
We're kind of tag teaming here. Thank you and congratulations to your service this next cycle here. And
Please state your name for the
oh, I'm sorry, Jody White, and I am from the Livonia, Wayne County area. I'm a national advocate who works to protect vulnerable adults. I first connected with Ted through a colleague in North Carolina. What I discovered in Macomb County reveals a troubling pattern of retaliation against those who question probate practices. I believe your body should just be aware of the circumstances. I don't know. I've never been here. We go all around, and we are meeting with the Board of Commissioners, State Bar of Michigan, because that is really the jurisdiction that we should be at. But we also believe that this body should be aware because it's your citizens that are being affected. In February of 2023, I attempted to visit his fiancée Judy at the nursing home. Despite being there with Judy's friends, staff denied her presence. When I contacted her guardian's office, they refused to disclose her location to allow access. The systemic isolation from friends, advocates, and her fiance Ted demonstrates a concerning pattern. The retaliation escalated when this guardian subpoenaed me to court. I submitted a written testimony, and yet he prevented me from speaking on the record. When he sought media coverage from the Macomb Daily, which Mr. Cook is here, and I thanked him for his services, but unfortunately, the resulting article instead featured defamatory statements about Ted from the Guardian. A follow-up story failed to address the concerning practices. Further retaliation came through a complaint to the State Bar of Michigan accusing me of unauthorized practice of law. I'm allowed to be legal, lawful, and compliant. And I'm allowed to be an advocate to care about this. I'm a realtor for 42 years. I like rules, regulations, order. I like my families not being taken advantage of. While this complaint was ultimately dismissed, it represents a pattern of intimidation against advocates who expose probate exploitation. Recent events demonstrated ongoing concerns, which Ted had mentioned. Law enforcement agencies repeatedly dismissed Ted's legitimate complaints. I went to the sheriff. I went with Pete to see Pete Lucido, me and our group, and nothing. Pete Lucido, or Prosecutor Lucido, issued a cease and desist letter rather than investigating the allegations. Shocking. I was shocked. We know Pete from being in the judiciary branch up at the legislation when he was a state senator. He knows all about this. So I was shocked to see him do that. And then finally, a recent media on Channel 2, there was an incident that inappropriately exposed Ted's identity in connection with unsubstantiated claims between Pete and him, but it was all allegedly a farce, but his name was on it and they didn't redact his name.
You have 30 seconds.
Thank you, I'm almost done. I appreciate that. I urge the county commissioners to schedule a government policy committee meeting with the victims in probate to address the four things. And I don't know, most counties have a government policy. I'm new here, so if you don't have something of this nature, we'd like to somehow or another have you help us implement stricter oversight for court officers. We could use your help. You guys are citizens too. This could happen to you. Protections of advocates and family members from retaliation. That's got to stop. We are allowed to come out and speak about this. Review of probate funding and accountability measures. The State Bar of Michigan will probably help us with that. And then, of course, a creation for transparent grievance procedures. If there's any way that someone can just take a number and we'll say, oh, Ted number 1, what's going on with Ted? Christine number 48, what's happening from 1 to 48? Lastly, when attorneys exploit probate court for financial gain, they transform a civil dispute resolution system into a criminal enterprise. As funders of the probate court, you have both the authority and the responsibility to protect vulnerable residents from exploitation. The administration of justice in Macomb County depends on your action. Thank you, and I do hope to hear from somebody about this topic to get with a committee to further talk about this. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Board, Commissioners. My name is Fred Neenstead. I live at 41362 Justin Drive. I'd like to take this opportunity to proclaim the greatness of our founding document, the Constitution of the United States of America. For 237 years, it has survived all manner of abuse and amendment. We are here today with a new President of the United States, his second term in office. Our America, our country, is a wonderful and unbelievable experiment on the world stage. It has suffered many times in history, proclaimed, I'd say most proclaimed by the Civil War. And during the inauguration, there was 2 statues behind the presidents at the time of the inauguration. Ulysses S. Grant, the general of the United States Army, and Abraham Lincoln, the president of the United States Army, while habeas corpus was in suspension. This is something that does not go unnoted by myself. Habeas corpus is a writ that goes back nearly as far as the Magna Carta. Certainly by the 14th century, it was accepted that nobody could be detained without proper presence before a magistrate or a judge. Just 2 days ago, several hundred citizens were pardoned for being at the Capitol on January 6, 2021. Their cause was never presented before a judge for their freedom. The ability to withstand government oppression is the very basis of our Declaration of Independence. This cannot go unnoted that people would ignore the very basic freedom that we take for granted. It should be said that all of us are free to have our speech, our property,
You have 30 seconds.
and our possessions without interference of the government. The Fourth Amendment guarantees all of these things. And yet, for 4 years, men and women languished without the ability to get before a judge and declare their cause. This is an unheard of violation of the Constitution to U.S. citizens. It should be effectively dealt with in a civil action against the government by those so aggrieved.
Your time
I
is
would
up.
hope that everybody in our public and our discussions would support such a thing. Thank you very much. God bless.
Hi, I'm Jean Sott, and I'm from Shelby Township. I was one of the candidates, and I want to thank everybody, especially those that took my phone calls and met with me. It was a great exercise in learning more about what our county does and what commissioners do. I learned more about the budget, and I did speak with a couple of you about the community mental health system and about how when somebody wants to get a service from them, they have to go there with their loved one. And they can't make an appointment. So here we have caregivers that have to go wait, whether it's 5 minutes or 5 hours, they don't know. So I talked to a couple of you about possibly making an appointment system to respect our caregivers' times because they are the ones that are caring for these special needs adults and children. So I hope that's something that resonated with you and that's something that possibly could be put in place, just like the Secretary of State has right now, where you can make an appointment. You don't have to sit there for 5 hours when you need to renew your license. I did read in the newspaper that you are waiting 2 years, almost a full 2 years, which was your former term before this recent change. Now you're 4 years. I understand that elections are expensive. Our government has made elections expensive, and now we're not having special elections because they're expensive. I understand that it is a big burden on our local communities, but it's expensive to not have special elections. It's expensive to not do it too. I want to congratulate you. I hope he represents our district well. But as you know, it was you 12 that aren't from my district that voted for him, and maybe our district will vote for him. But we didn't get a voice in that. And so I think you should take that under consideration, that waiting 2 years, that was your full term before. Now he's going to have the power of the incumbency. I most likely won't run for county commissioner. So I'm speaking for the other candidates that are here. So I just want to thank you again. And one final thing, I know the biggest challenge you have right now is going to be the budget. And I hope you keep in mind that those are taxpayer dollars. Whether they come from the federal or the state, they are taxpayer dollars. Duggan just touted about how the property values in the city of Detroit have increased. And that was a good thing. That's a good thing for Detroit. But it's not a good thing for people that are struggling to pay their property taxes. So although you aren't raising the millage, people are going to get an increase in their taxes in a couple days here. They're going to get their assessment. And I think you should keep that in mind that people are struggling. A lot of people are going to be taxed out of their homes over the next few years. I know they can only go up 3% a year, but for some people, that's a big deal. So anyway, thank you again, and thank you for your service. I know you have a tough job.
Anyone else from the public like to speak? Going once, twice. We'll close public participation. Next is commissioner comments. Commissioner Hall.
Thank you, Chair. I would just like to congratulate Ken Goike on the appointment to fill our illustrious former chairman's seat. I think it was, and I said that at the time of the interviews, a tribute to Don with the expertise and the qualifications of all those that applied to the position. So thank all of you, and Ken, I look forward to working with you again. Thank you, Chair.
Commissioner Wallace.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to thank our staff for an amazing job that they did putting together our Student Government Day. It was just great. So good job, guys. I also wanted to make note, because I, for some reason, I don't know, blacked out. I didn't speak during earlier, but there were a couple of comments from the students about our way of marketing and advertising social media. And I do think that's something that we need to look at again. I think that it's great that our numbers are rising, we are getting more followers and things like that. But I think today did prove that we are missing some key points and some key people in our county. And I would like to very much revisit that if possible. Crystal, thank you.
Seeing no other speakers, I'm going to close commissioner comments. Need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Moved by Romano, supported by Wallace. Please vote. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.
Have a great rest of your day.